I've heard that it doesn't make a difference how you start, but how you finish. But if you start the wrong way, you might not actually finish. As a consultant and business strategist, I've done project management for companies, and I've worked with other companies as a vendor or in some other capacity. And I've seen some people start and never finish. So don't think that in the beginning you could just come and mess up and do things wrong and have a great end. Sometimes you won't have an end. You will never actually get to take off or fully launch or execute what it is that you desire to do. In the food industry and in life, because that's a part of life, right? People do things and they just start slapping up and doing things, just saying, okay, well, I'm going to do this. It's going to stick. It's going to work, some way, somehow together, everything is going to be like a good tasting pot, meaning a great end, right? But sometimes the decisions that you make in the beginning are so costly and expensive that there is no repair. So I would like to share with you, before you start, do your research, gain wisdom, knowledge, and insight into what it is you're going to do, and then start taking the necessary steps after you have a well thought out plan. Now, plans don't save you from making errors or mistakes, but at least you're more likely to recover if you have something in place and you can foresee certain challenges that are going to come. That's just like inside a relationship. If you start a relationship off in the wrong way, it might end. You may never have a marriage, or that marriage may end up in divorce. How you start and do things does make a difference, especially if you keep going on in the same way that you've always been doing things. Oh, this is my shirt from the Jewish National Foundation for Galilee Culinary Institute. Shout out to Nathan Hoffman. So they did an interview on me a few months ago, and I was supposed to take pictures in the shirt because I wanted to, but I didn't. But now I have a whole video, right? And they actually planted a tree in my honor of me in Israel. So I've never been to Israel, but there's a tree planted with a plaque that says Radisha Francis. Isn't that amazing? My name is in places that I've never been. So back to the moral of this story. Another example is sowing seeds. If you sow seeds into the wrong soil, climate, temperature, season, you're probably not going to get a harvest or a crop. So I just want you to consider changing your mindset, priming it to think a little different. How I start does make a difference. How I start can make things so much easier for me. How I start can set me up for greater success. Don't believe that you can just start any kind of haphazard way and have this glorious end. So that's all I really wanted to share with you. And another example, and I'll end with this one, is how you start and end your day. I remember when I just didn't really have a schedule, bad time, those things. I would wake up, and if I woke up on time, then I'd be rushing to get my son ready for school, get his lunch. Oh, hurry up, all these things, to rushing, rushing, rushing. It was a horrible feeling. And I realized patterns and cycles, right? And so I realized that if I started taking the necessary steps the night before or in that morning, I could have a much more peaceful day. I see why people have road rage. They probably didn't go to sleep on time. They woke up late, all these things. They're just rushing, rushing, rushing. And all of that negative energy and emotions, and that just perpetuates throughout their day and their life. So I had to be intentional. So I said, okay, what wastes most of my time? Looking for his school uniforms, getting his lunch together, getting the clothes prepared. So I started creating systems and processes in my life. So I have systems and processes in business, but I also have systems and processes or standard operating procedures in my life. So when I talk about the distinctive lifestyle, your life, your terms, your vision, all that kind of stuff, your definition, your terms and conditions, like you have to be able to set things up, right? So I said, okay, Friday, he gets out of school. This is prior to the pandemic, right? And as soon as he got home, all of his school uniforms from the week would go into the washer, wash, dry, take them out, sort them. So I had bins where I had from Monday through Friday. And each bin had underwear, undershirt, jockey, socks, school uniform, school shirt. If it was a PE day, it had the PE uniform. Everything was in one container, prepared in advance. So guess what? Mornings became more peaceful because I wasn't running, sorting through clothes, looking for stuff, trying to get things together. They were organized. And the same thing with snacks. I will organize snacks. And then that way, when I'm making his lunch or preparing those things, guess what? They're just there to grab. And it seems challenging to have structured ways of doing things, but man, it gives you so much more peace. I'm a person who would say I was spontaneous, but I find that when I was organized, it gave me more time and freedom to be spontaneous with the things that I wanted to do. I could just jump up and do these things because why? I took care of the basics, right? So we'll get to school, we'll have a much more pleasant drive to school and stuff. Then when we come home, we had a way to do things. And then at night, you go to bed a certain time, you have a little bedtime routine, those things. They made so much of a difference in my family life that it brought us so much more peace. How you start makes a huge difference. And how you start determines if you finish. I remember the first time I heard someone say, it was actually a cousin of mine, that when someone comes to her in business for her services, if they don't hire her and they go somewhere else and things get messed up, not only do they now have to pay her her fee, the original fee, but now they have to pay her to correct the issues. And then I spoke to an attorney that said the same thing. And I was thinking, yeah, because now not only do you have to do your work, you have to now do more work to clean up, undo or fix what the other person did or did not do. So whatever it is that you're getting ready to do, establish, who knows what it is, make sure that when you begin, you have a clear vision of where you're going. It's well thought out, not emotion based, because emotions are fleeting. They're up one minute, they're down the next. You have to have a clear and sound mind. Have plan, action steps, appropriate, relevant, and current research that will help you to fulfill that thing that you're trying to do. So this is Radisha, just sharing something that was on my mind with you, just trying to share some wisdom. And I hope that you have an amazing day.